Am I the asshole for not adjusting our China trip to my BIL's cardio limits? Throwaway, I, 39M, recently went to China with my sister, 36F, her husband, we'll call him Doug 40M, their son, 12, my wife and our two kids, 11, 9. My sister and I were born in China, but our family immigrated to Dallas when we were young. She stayed there, got married, and had her son, while I settled in the Pacific NW with my wife and two gremlins of our own. Growing up, our parents emphasized healthy eating and staying active. My sister and I still live that way and pass it to our kids. Doug, however, is American in every sense of that word. He grew up on ultra-processed foods, fruit snacks were considered fruit, and he'll insist on starting up his Grand Wagoneer for any distance more than 3 blocks. He's not TLC immobile, but definitely not built for long treks. Their son just finished 7th grade and loved the ancient China unit, especially the terracotta warriors. My sister thought this the perfect time for him, being half Chinese, to visit his ancestral homeland. I was already planning a trip to Chongqing to see family, so we added my sister's family to the itinerary and expanded it to include places like Beijing, Shen, and Nanjing to match what their son had learned in school. I handled most of the planning and tried to hint that a lot of walking would be involved, especially since many Chinese cities have vast transit systems and are less car dependent. Doug didn't take it seriously. Once we arrived, it was clear he couldn't keep up when we explored the landmarks. My sister often stayed behind with him, while my wife and I continued with the kids to ensure we kept up with our tour groups. It all came to a head in our final stop, my grandmother's hometown near Chongqing. This place is basically vertical, stairs and steep slopes everywhere. On a particularly hot, humid day, I took the kids to the local market via a park our old family helped build. Doug insisted on coming, saying he didn't want to sit around all day. I warned it was a long walk, but he insisted. Half a mile in, he was struggling. I slowed down, but the kids kept running ahead. After we got through the park, I convinced him to take a taxi back while I continued to the market with the kids. When we returned, Doug was sulking and my sister was upset. She said I was inconsiderate for not just taking a taxi to the market. I explained it would have taken longer given the layout, and the kids wouldn't have seen the park that was part of our family history. She said she hadn't realized how physically demanding the trip would be since she let me handle most of the planning and I didn't consider Doug's limits. I agree I could have been more considerate of Doug's cardio, but not at the expense of my nephew and kids experiencing their cultural landmarks, especially since it was my nephew's first time in his homeland, and my kids' first time in Shen and Beijing. They all said had an amazing and educational experience. So, am I the asshole?